Before my daughter Heather was born, doctors warned that her life would be hard and probably short. Heather is now 20 years old. My memoir, The Power Is in the Body, is our story. It's expecting Adam meets ultra-marathon man. Life doesn't stop just because my daughter's death may be one breath away. I get to choose how I live and how I grieve. At first, dealing with Heather's disability, I chose fettuccine. I gained 60 pounds, honest. And then my mother died. I had to do something different, and I chose to get off the couch in slow motion and train for a triathlon. And then I recruited others to do it with me, and over 70 years, I trained over 200 women, which opened the door to create one-woman plays and try stand-up comedy. No one wants my life except me until you hear the vibrant details and hear of my caring communities, and most of all, of my sweet Heather, and you understand about my life moved from grief to empowerment.
What was really nice about this pitch is the specificity of a lot of what you talk about in the book. So, for example, when you talked about I chose fettuccine.
Yeah,
that was just a great line. It gave us the sense that there's going to be some humor in the book as well. And then about the triathlons, and then when you said no one wants my life but me. That's just a very touching line. From my point of view, what I would like to see a little bit more improvement on is, I'm not sure of the arc of this book. What's the beginning, what's the middle, and the end? And I think that would be helpful in terms of making me want to be excited about reading it.
It's very important when you're pitching a book that you display your writing skill and the voice, what we call the voice of a book. The voice of a book is almost as if, when you're reading it, you can hear that voice of the writer in your head. And I thought you did a great job of that, again, the specifics of what your story was. I really enjoyed that, and I liked your elevator pitch that you had too. I think this is a wonderful memoir. The difficulty now is that we're so saturated with memoirs. You're going to have to, I think, come up with a fantastic promotion and marketing plan for yourself to display how you're going to sell this book when you go to an agent or an editor. That's not going to be in the pitch necessarily, but it sounds like from what you've said that you do have a body of people who are behind you also. And if you could just give us a little hint of that in your pitch. I know it's a lot to ask in 60 seconds, but that would be enormously helpful.
I would echo what Arielle said about the arc of the book. I guess what I would like to hear in that pitch is I would like to hear you frame your daughter's disease, or I would like to have some way of framing it beyond. I hear about a lot of memoirs that are great human interest stories that are about survival, that are uplifting and empowering, and I know already from your story this has that, but I want to see more specifically how it has it in terms of an arc and how to frame it. It might help me to know exactly what her condition was. Maybe I missed that, but and exactly maybe some of the benchmarks along the way. You know what I mean? So we can see how the stakes have been upped so we can sort of imagine the arc of that story, where it begins and where it ends. It begins wonderfully. They didn't expect my child to live, and here we are 20 years later. Great opener, but I want to hear 7, 14, and 20. You know what I mean? Just a little bit, that's what I mean about arc. Just frame it so that we know a little bit more specifically what the adversity itself consists of. In particular, does that make sense?
Yeah, 1 minute.
now you see the difficulty. 1 minute, man, it's hard.
Yeah, and if I were being pitched this as a rep, and this is coming from a guy who has a real tough time talking in public, and I know that it makes you nervous maybe to stand up in front of people. You got to when I am looking at a book and the author, I got to know that they're comfortable public speaking. And I know this is getting sort of right to the heart of something, but I make sure that you were really comfortable, practice, being in front of crowds and practice at public speaking, because they want to know that when you do sit down with Oprah, you know, I think I'd freeze, but you know, they want to know that you're not, right? That you're going to still be cool and calm. It's a tough thing. It's a tough thing to even say to you, because I know you did your best up there, but you got to be able to deliver that message concisely. You got to be able to take off the wall questions with aplomb. It's a tough thing. The other thing is, as a rep, and my buyer would immediately say, so it's a diet book? They will. They will say that. They'll say, so this is about eating disorder, the fettuccine thing. I mean, seriously, you know, this is the kind of thing that my buyers say, as almost a reason not to buy it. I mean, they'll say, oh, okay, so that means to save me money. That means I've got how many diet books? You know what I'm saying? So I think that to clarify what these people are saying, the arc of the story and the specificity, and also maybe how you get over each of those things. I know it's a 60-second deal, but I would make sure that you avoid the perception of that.
Good job, good opening.
Yeah, great. That was really, and you were first too. You did a fantastic job.